If you're having trouble writing lyrics, I'm going to talk about a method that can help. It's not uncommon to struggle to find the right words to sit around your main idea and really make it shine. Sure, your first verse may come out like smooth peanut butter on white bread, but hold my jelly jar, Peter Pan, those second verses can get sticky. Pat Pattison, author of the classic book Writing Better Lyrics, references a term used in songwriting circles called second verse hell. And it's called that with good reason. So why can this be such a challenge? Well, let's back up a sec and talk about what drives us to write songs. In his book, This Is Your Brain on Music, Daniel Levitin concludes from his research that music is instinctual and originated as a major driver in sexual courtship. He says, as a tool for activation of specific thoughts, music is not as good as language. As a tool for arousing feelings and emotions, music is better than language. The combination of these two is best exemplified in a love song, is the best courtship display of all. Beyond just love songs, we're trying to communicate a story, a feeling, or a truth. Lyrics are the language embedded in the music that help convey how that feeling manifests in the context of a song. As songwriters, we are hoping this communication impacts or connects with the listener in some way. That's a lot of pressure, and while music may be instinctual, lyric writing may not be easy for you. To be honest, I still find finding the right words one of the hardest parts of songwriting. However, it's also one of the most fulfilling when you get it right. You might recall how George Harrison struggled to find the right words for something in Get Back. He says, I usually get the first few lines of lyrics and melody both at once, and then I finish the melody and then have to write the words. I wrote the whole first verse and just said everything I wanted to say, and so now I need to write a couple more verses. I find that much more difficult. I agree, and we'll come back to some advice that John gave George as a result in a bit. In this video, I want to talk about what I call the vibes method that will help you write your verses with more ease. Each letter is a tool that you can consider while you're writing to guide you through the process to completion. In verse, chorus, bridge, or refrain form, the verses are there to help amplify the main idea, usually in the chorus. They help evoke the desired emotion that we talked about earlier. Vibes is an acronym to help you remember some of the important considerations when writing your lyrics and get past the point where you think you've said all you have to say in verse 1. Vibe stands for viewpoint, illustrate, build, echo, and speed. Let's dig into each one. Viewpoint is a device for changing the perspective for how the main idea is delivered. In Hey Jude, the narrator uses the name Jude to directly address them. In Every Breath You Take, the narrator uses the pronoun you. In We Are the Champions, the narrator uses I and we. In Life on Mars, the narrator uses pronouns like her, she, and they. You can even change the viewpoint within the same song. This can be done for dramatic effect or to highlight the main idea from different vantage points. If we look at Life on Mars by David Bowie, it was largely written in third person. However, it slips into a small bit of first person and second person towards the end. Let's consider another example, Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, which is in first person and second person. If we were to put this in third person, it just doesn't land the same way to me. It doesn't sing as well. You say you want your freedom versus he says he wants his freedom just doesn't have the same emotional impact or immediacy. Think about the different types of imagery, metaphor, and other devices you can use to illustrate the song's main idea. One of the main functions of verses is to artistically illuminate the details of the song. In the Civil War song 20 Years, the subject is a note written a long time ago by the narrator. They don't just say, I wrote you a note a long time ago about something I did but never told you. It gives more specific detail. Yellow paper, black ink on blue lines, faded picture. It never explicitly says what it was that they did, but how they describe it builds tension and interest. Secret in an envelope, a shadow you won't recognize. There's something about me I never told you. In Pillow of Your Bones by Chris Cornell, the song is stuffed with imagery. It illustrates the death of the subject's pious past using fire as a metaphor. Again, there's interest being built by the way he continues the descriptions. In verse 2, he continues with more imagery, metaphor, and alliteration. And I know we're talking about verses, but I don't want to ignore the imagery in the chorus either. It's amazing. Building a word palette in preparation for writing can be really helpful. Take a piece of paper and at the top write the theme or the main idea. You might even write the chorus if you already have it. Below that, in a section, write words or phrases associated with that theme. And then below that, pick your favorite words and find rhymes for each of them. If you're feeling stuck, having trouble finding words, you may use an exercise called object writing to help generate words related to that theme. Sometimes just restating a previous verse can help to further underscore the main idea. In Yesterday, Paul restates how easy love used to feel versus how it feels now. Love got complicated and he yearns for yesterday, and he really underscores this by restating this same verse at the end. Write in the moment with speed. The more you think about it, the more you overanalyze and the more you get bogged down in the technicalities. Be artistic and open to whatever comes to you. Write it down without thinking. You can always edit it later. Coming back to John's advice to George, he urged him to take advantage of the context and the mood and finish the song if possible. Working with speed is really helpful here. It can be difficult or even impossible to come back to it with the same vigor and creativity later on. I hope you found this valuable. Personally, I love the challenge of finding the right words that capture what it is I want to say. But it is challenging. Just remember that half the fun is exploring all of the possibilities and finding all of the right pieces that fit the puzzle. Till next time, peace.